Well, good Friday morning to you, lovely ladies and gentlemen. Steve Collins coming to you from gorgeous San Antonio, Texas, back from DC, the second most powerful, passionate, and purposeful coach and speaker in the world. Hope you guys are excited for this fantastic Friday. I am here to kill sacred cows. I am here to challenge the status quo. I am here to be a voice of one crying in the marketplace. Get your stuff straight. So let's have a conversation about this morning, because we run on programming if we are not aware of the thoughts that we are thinking. We run on programming. What is programming? Programming is the inner voice in your head that typically came from your parents, people you respected, your teachers, or your peer group. If there were conversations about limitation, you have limiting beliefs that are guiding you. If you were around big conversations, big ideas, big thinkers, you tend to be doing that as well. And the good news is, if you were around the former, you can begin to train yourself to have the latter and to do so for your children as well. Were you aware that the way you speak to your kids now becomes their inner voice as adults? That should scare a couple of y'all. Think about what you're saying. So our programming is subconscious, and we tend to walk around not even realizing that we have set boundaries for ourselves and have standards for ourselves that may have nothing to do with the possibilities of abundance that are available to us, because we simply have not been taught. My desire this morning is to shed some light on a very popular quote. When people are going through things, or people are dealing with things, or people are comforting one another, you will hear this statement: well, honey, just do what you feel is right. Just do what you feel is right, honey. And I'm here to say, no, please don't do what you feel is right, because the heart is deceptive above all things. Your heart will lead you down a place from time to time that is a danger zone because of your feelings. So when I say don't do what you feel is right, I'm not talking about not learning to follow your instinct and your gut, gathering data and wisdom, and then going off of what you sense. What I'm talking about is folks who live a life like a thermometer, folks who live a life reacting to what's going on around them, because when you do what you feel is right, when somebody wrongs you, what feels right is to wrong them. When somebody hurts you, what feels right is to hurt them back. When somebody makes you pay, what feels right is to make them pay, because that seems just and that seems fair, and we are wired to desire that. So I would like to drop a nugget of revelation on you to challenge you to become someone different than you may currently be in that conversation. I heard a great teacher, Bill Johnson, say this: for man, for us, men, women, humans, there are two realms. There's the natural and there's the supernatural. Okay? For God, there's only one, the natural. Isn't that good? His realm, his natural, is our supernatural. And so what am I talking about like that? A natural response will deliver a natural outcome. If you want a natural outcome, you may not be there, you may be there, there you are. A natural response will deliver to you a natural result. You guys follow me? A natural response will deliver a natural result. The flip side of that, a supernatural response will deliver to you a supernatural result. Let me give you for example. If you happen to be a married individual and you and your spouse got into some kind of a thing, and it got in your head and you were angry about it, and you chose, rather than to get all ugly back, or to curse back, or to be mean back, what feels natural, and you chose to do something supernatural, which was to give them a break, bless them, and forgive them, and move on down the road, and then treat them as if they had never wronged you. You see, that's not doing what you feel. You will not feel like doing that, because that feels like losing. Yet if you have enough wisdom to recognize the dynamic of relationships, and the great example given by our amazing Heavenly Father, who loves us even when we are crazy town, I mean, when we are whack, he still loves us, man. He still loves us. He's still being good to us. Imagine if he sat up there with cotton candy in one hand and a lightning bolt in the other, which people think, when I mess up, he's mad at me. I did something good. He's happy with me. I messed up. He's mad at me. I did something good. He's happy with me. Man, God is not bipolar. You got it? Okay? His love is unconditional. There's nothing you can do to make him love you more. He loves you like that because he is love. So take that example from him. Do you know that it says in my favorite book, the Bible, that it is his kindness that makes people want to change and be better? It's not lightning bolts. It's not fear of being punished. It's his kindness, that love that makes us want to do better because we say, man, he's being so good to me when I'm being stupid. Man, I want to change. I want to be different. I want to be better. It's not because, well, I am really scared that I'm going to get hit in the butt with a lightning bolt. It ain't like that, y'all. So what can we learn from that? Here's what we can learn. When we love unconditionally, which is not doing what you feel like doing many times, when we have been wronged, let's just make it that. If somebody has wronged you, somebody has burnt you, someone has done you wrong, if you do what you feel, you're going to be plotting some type of revenge, even if that revenge is just, I am going to ignore him. I ain't even gonna, I'm just gonna ignore, he's gonna walk by, I ain't even gonna look at him. I ain't even gonna look. I'm just gonna be like this. Even if it's passive aggressive, there's some type of sense of what's right to give them payback. That's natural. You will get a natural conclusion, a natural result. And that natural result will be continued tension or weirdness or you just being all jacked up with your panties in a bunch. If you want a supernatural result, you have a supernatural do what you don't feel like doing response. And what might that be? Well, in Texas, we have a way of cussing people out in a really lovely way. We say, well, bless their hearts. Well, you say, well, I just bless them. They must be going through a really hard time, and I'm not going to let their juju get on me and slime me all up like Ghostbusters when those things explode. I ain't going to walk around the earth like that. I am going to be a thermostat, not a thermometer. I'm not going to respond to what they did. I'm going to set the atmosphere and the tone for my own joy in my life. And I'm going to forgive them. I'm just going to forgive them. Now, let me go through my diatribe of conversation with you. Forgiveness does not mean I'm okay with what you did. Forgiveness does not mean I feel better about it. Forgiveness does not mean we cool. Forgiveness does not mean we can be friends and go have a beer and eat pizza together now. Forgiveness does not mean I'm over it. Forgiveness does not mean I forgot it. No. Forgiveness is releasing yourself from the BS going on in your head and your mind and your heart that's really just hurting you. Forgiveness is loving yourself enough to not carry around hot coals in your hands, burning yourself while you're waiting to burn somebody else. So a supernatural response would be to forgive them. A supernatural response would be to bless them. A supernatural response would be to choose to continue to be good to them, even though they don't deserve it. Now, when you have a supernatural response, you get a supernatural result. What happens? Something starts changing in their heart. Something starts changing in your heart. You start feeling different and becoming different, and you show up as a different person who can now walk in an abundance of grace, walk in an abundance of mercy and kindness because you are receiving that from above, and now you're able to distribute that out. It's going to take a little work. Ain't going to be easy, but if you just follow what I'm sharing with you today, it could absolutely transform your relationships. Don't do what you feel. Do what you know is the right thing to do, even if you don't feel like it. Have a great day, guys.